Hello everybody, it's me Heather, and today I'm excited about this video. I couldn't wait to shoot this video. So I have the NARS Chrisopher Kane collection. So Chrisopher Kane is a Scottish fashion designer. He's based in London. And this is the first time that NARS has actually collaborated with a fashion designer. And I love what they came up with. They came up with this concept called neo-neutral or neon neutral. And it's basically Chrisopher Kane's known for saying that he likes to use pops of neon in place of neutrals to just like add a flash of color to like freshen things up. And what I love about this collection is everything looks extremely bright, vivid, and neon, and it's going to make my white balance on my camera here go crazy. It's going to be really hard to actually photograph these and film these shades, so you're definitely going to want to check them out in person when you can, because the way they're going to film here is probably not going to how they're going to look in real life. But everything's surprisingly very not really subtle, but it's very soft, very shimmery, and even sheer at times. And it's interesting how, you know, my makeup tastes are changing a little. Or I don't want to say they're changing. I want to say that I'm becoming more open to different types of makeup, because for the longest time I've always been about full pigmentation and brilliant colors and unusual shades. And now I'm open to things that are more sheer and just more everyday wear. So a year ago, if this collection had come out, I would have been like, oh God, sheer and subtle and ugh, no way, what a waste of money. But this collection, the moment I heard about it, I was like, okay, I definitely want to get some stuff from this collection. Then I was like, I started hearing, you know, seeing some swatches, and they were explaining the concept of neon neutral, where it's, you know, it looks like it's going to be really flashy, but it's actually surprisingly flattering for most people. I'll put it to you that way. So let's just jump right in. It's a 10-piece collection. I did get every single piece, and let's do it. So the first item I have here is the single eyeshadow. This is called Outer Limits. It retails for $25, and it's just, oh, well, first off, let me show you guys the packaging. So it's pretty much standard NARS packaging, but they did change the logo of NARS from white to kind of a neon pink, as you can see, and it has Chrisopher Kane's name embossed in there as well. And the shade, like I said, this is Outer Limits. This is just a single eyeshadow, and like I said, it's going to be really hard to film a lot of these. I'm using natural daylight. This is described as an iridescent rose gold. To me, it honestly looks kind of more orangey, I don't know, more golden, orangey, gold, yellow. I'm not seeing as much rose in there, but that's just me. But this is very pretty. I'm not going to swatch any of the items in this video. While this is actually uploading to YouTube, I'm going to post all this, because I've already swatched everything and photographed everything. I'm going to upload all the pictures of the swatches to my blog and Instagram, so you can check them out there. But what I am going to do is I will go ahead and review these really quickly for you, since I did have the chance to swatch them, and then towards the end of the video I'll do a voiceover, and I'm going to apply almost everything I have here. So let's do it that way. So anyways, Outer Limits single eyeshadow, $25, and it's an iridescent rose gold is how they're describing it. The next item I have is a duo eyeshadow. This is actually my first time having a duo eyeshadow from NARS. This one is called Parallel Universe, and it has an iridescent pink lilac and a soft iridescent violet. So the formulations of all the eyeshadows in this collection, here if I hold it at an angle you can see the color better. The formulation of all the eyeshadows in this are very, very, very kind of almost chunky, glittery. They're, like I said, they're not meant to be fully opaque. They are just meant to give you that pop of color, just that instant shine, the iridescence. And I do like this so far. I haven't worn it yet. I've got some ideas for how I'm going to throw this together. So there are 4 lip glosses in the collection. And originally I was only going to get one. But then once I heard that when you wear these, they leave a stain behind. They leave like a subtle stain behind. So they're all, you know, they look really vivid and bright, but they apply really rather sheer, kind of subtle. But then, like, over time, they kind of dry down a little bit, and they leave a stain, and I was just like, okay, I have to have them all now. So let me just go through these really quick. So the first one I have here is Mesmer. It is a sheer neon pink. Very pretty, Mesmer. The next one is Nebulous. This one was the one I was the most excited about. This is a neon coral. You know, it just looks really orangey, really pretty. This one is Nucleus. Nucleus, it's a seashell pink. And then the last one is Glow Pink, which is a sheer fuchsia. Isn't that gorgeous? So these all retail for $26. I think I forgot to say how much the eyeshadow duo costs. It is $35 for the eyeshadow duo. All right, so next, the blushes. Love NARS blushes. You can never have too many NARS blushes. I really like what they did with the blushes in these. They're really like two opposite ends of the spectrum on this one. So the first one we got here is Starscape, and it is just this amazing neon pink. And everything I'm showing you here is limited edition, just to give you guys a heads up. It's currently available on NARS's website. So neon pink. What's nice about this particular blush is, as vibrant as it looked, this one applies rather sheerly, but not in a way that lacks pigmentation, but in a flattering way to add a flush of pink to your skin without being like gaudy or overdone. It's a really beautiful, beautiful shade of matte pink blush. And yeah, this one's not going to work for everybody, but I do like it. I'm happy to have it. This one's called Silent. Oops, I still got my dust cover in there. Let me take that out. There we go. This one is called Silent Nude. So this is a soft beige, and I do like shades like these. These are great for when you are wearing really bold eye looks. This still gives your cheeks a little bit of color, a little definition, but it's not as obvious that you're wearing a blush. Originally, I thought this might work as a bronzer, but on my skin tone, it's not going to show up that well. But like I said, it's still going to be able to give me a little bit of color without being, you know, overly obvious. And we'll just see how it goes as I use it. I'm also considering that for me, this might work as what I call a toned down shade. So for example, if I apply a blush, maybe not this one, because this one actually is going a lot more subtle than it looks. But for example, if you're applying a blush and you end up being a little too heavy-handed or it's a little too much, you can apply this over top of it or underneath it even, and it might help to tone down that shade a little so it's not as bold. So I'm going to try pairing these together and see what kind of results I get. So it's kind of a first impressions type tutorial, if that makes any sense. We'll just see how it goes. And then the last two items I have here are some of the multiples from NARS. Oh, and the blushes retail for $30. So the multiples I have here, one of them is exclusive to NARS's website. So the first one I have here is Violet Atom. And if you're not familiar with multiples, this is actually my first time purchasing multiples from NARS. And I'll just roll that up so you guys can really see that. This is, like I said, it's probably going to be hard for the color to be true to, you know, what it is. But this is the Violet Atom. Violet Atom. So this one's described as a sheer iridescent violet. This does retail for $39. The purpose of multiples is, as it implies, you can use it multiple ways. So you could use this as a cream eyeshadow, you could use it as a highlighter, you could use it as a really shimmery blush, you can use it on your lips, a lot of stuff you can do with it. And I got an idea for how I want to use this. So we'll just see how it goes, see how well it pairs with what I want to do it with, but very beautiful. Really excited about that. And this one is Quantum. This is a sheer iridescent magenta. Oh my God, isn't that cool looking? And notice the word sheer. So although it looks really bold and vibrant here, it is a somewhat sheer application. And I've got an idea for how I want to try to use this in a moment. But this one is exclusive to NARS's website. So the collection is out now on NARS's website. Oh, and these do retail for $39. I'm like, my God, almost $40 for these. But you can use it so many ways, and it's a ton of product. So it's actually not bad, and just really looking forward to trying it. Anyways, so everything's available right now on NARS's website, but you can get it at the usual retailers starting May 1st. So you'll be able to get it at Sephora and all the other places that carry NARS, counters and all that, starting May 1st. So I am going to, oh, well, let me talk about these really quick. So these do apply sheerly, but not in a way that's bad, if that makes any sense. Like I said, everything in this collection is more about adding a little bit of color but still being more everyday. I really like the concept. I love the packaging. I love the color scheme. And let me just dive right in. I'm going to do a voiceover for the rest of the video, and I'll speed things up. So save you guys a little time. All right, and if you guys see me looking over constantly, I'm not gonna lie, while I'm doing my makeup, I have my TV on and I'm gonna be looking at stuff and listening to stuff. So if you wonder why I keep looking over there, I'm watching TV. All right, we'll be back at the end of the video and talk a little more.
To start this off, I decided to use the illuminating multiple in Violet Atom, and my plan was I wanted to try to use this as a base for my eyeshadow, since the eyeshadows have a very sheer glittery pigmentation. So I used a little palette knife and I scraped off quite a bit of product. I really kind of dug deep in there, and I put it on the back of my hand, because putting it on the back of my hand I figured would allow me to really warm up the product. So it would make it soft and make it easy to blend out. So it started off pretty okay on the first lid, on the first eyelid, but then once I went back on my hand and I started trying to apply it to my second lid, that's when I started having problems. So it started sticking to itself and started just kind of balling up, and it was balling up on my lid. And I kept really just going in there, and I even like wiped off my brush on a tissue at one point, just, I thought maybe just there was too much product. But yeah, I really like the way this looks though, because it is an iridescent shade, but it just instantly brightened my lids. It looks really pretty on its own, actually, just for not really so much an eye color, but just to give just that a brightening effect. So then I took the single eyeshadow Outer Limits, and I just wanted to apply that really liberally on the corner of my lids, the inner corner of my eyelids. Just, just to put the color on, just so you guys could see it a little. As you can see, it's very subtle, and it's actually really pretty. I think this would actually be really pretty just all over the lid on top of this illuminating multiple, but I was rather disappointed with the performance of this illuminating multiple on my lids. Now I went ahead and grabbed the eyeshadow duo Parallel Universe, and I'm just taking the lighter pink iridescent shade and I'm just placing that all over my lids. And as you can see, it's very it's very bright, but yet subtle. I really do actually like this. Normally I wouldn't go for these type of eyeshadows, but they're just very glittery, very shimmery, but they're not overpowering. But it was Fallout City, let's be honest. I mean, and here I just blended out my crease just a little bit with my fingers. But yeah, just grabbed a big fluffy brush, just knock off some of that excess fallout. But yeah, super glittery, super shimmery. But I do like the way they look. They're really pretty. I think they'll be really pretty on their own, actually. Now I'm trying out the Silent Nude blush. And as you can see on my skin tone in MAC foundations, I'm in NC30, NC35. This blush really doesn't show up on my skin tone. So I decided I would use it as what I call a toned down shade. So now I'm grabbing the illuminating multiple in Violet Atom one more time, and I'm like, okay, let me try it one more time as a highlighter. And I'm going to go directly in my finger, apply it on my chin, on my cupid's bow, on the bridge of my nose. And now I'm just digging out the Starscape blush. And oh, I just think this is so pretty. This paired really nicely with the Silent Nude blush. It really just toned it down to where it became just this ridiculously beautiful, subtle blush. Like, it almost looks like I just have a natural flush to my cheeks. I really like the way they paired together. So now I'm taking the other illuminating multiple. This is Quantum. So my plan with this was, again, I'm scraping out product using a palette knife, applying it to the back of my hand, and I really tried working the product and really warming it up, just moving it around, warming it up, trying to soften it up. And I applied it to my lips. Even on my, I know this is a really sheer shade, so I actually do kind of like the way it's looking on my lips on its own. It didn't feel dry, it didn't feel moisturizing, it was just really lightweight, it was just there. But I did have a lot of problem blending this out. It started balling up on itself. When I would press my lips together, it was like, it wasn't sticky, but the product itself was sticking to itself. So like it kept balling up, and I kept trying to blend it out. So now I'm taking the lip gloss in Glow Pink, and I just applied a little bit of that on the back of my hand using a lip brush, just to help build up that pigmentation faster. And also I don't like to mix products, so since I already had product on my lips, I didn't want to use the applicator.
Okay, so you can see this looks, for me, this is a pretty subtle look. compared to how bright some of the products look. As you can see, it's like I said, it's a very sheer, just very subtle pops of color type of line. So a lot of people are probably going to want to pass on this collection because, like most people, you know, I'm crazy about pigmentation. I love to see, if, you know, if this is the color I'm seeing in the tube, this is the color I want to get on my skin. But I do really like this collection. It's something different, and it's just a little, you know, if you really like glitter, if you really like shimmer, you're going to love this. As I mentioned before, the Silent Nude blush did not show up very well on my skin, like almost not at all. Like I said, it gives it a little bit of definition, a little bit of softness, but you know, for me, this is going to be basically a toned down shade. You know, as you can see, it very much toned down the Starscape blush on me. So that was my plan, and that worked out quite nicely. But like I said, this, oh my God, so gorgeous. This I like on extremely fair skin tones. Silent Nude might work as a very subtle bronzer, but I mean, you have to be ridiculously fair for that to happen. But interesting product. I'm glad to have it because, like I said, for me, this is going to be a great toned down shade. You could also use this as a very subtle transition color if you're having trouble blending out eyeshadows on your lids. You could also use this there, for example. So this is a great multi-purpose product in my eye, even though it's marketed as a blush. For some people, this could possibly be a bronzer. For other people, it'll be a very pretty natural blush. And then, like, for people like me, it's going to be great as a toned down color or using as a transition shade on eye looks. So I am happy to have this one, the Starscape blush, gorgeous. I love the way that it paired with the Silent Nude blush to really just give me a very subtle flush of color. The eyeshadows, it's, you know, I like them, but again, it's something a lot of people are going to want to pass on. These are very sheer formulations. I believe MAC would call this type of eyeshadow a luster eyeshadow. So they're very, as you can see, very shimmery, very iridescent, very subtle. These do have basically chunky glitter. There was a lot of fallout even when I tapped off. So you saw me, I still see it's like some glitter around this area. So I had to keep going in with a big fluffy brush to try to knock some of that off. But they're pretty, they're nice, I like them. The gloss is beautiful. I can already see that it's starting to like stain my lips. So the glosses are definitely, you don't need all 4 of them because, you know, let's be honest, when it comes to gloss, once you swatch them all, they usually are pretty similar. You know, they don't have a ton of pigmentation. They do dry down to a bit of a stain, which is pretty cool. I do like that. So love the glosses. I think the glosses are definitely the winner in this collection, but you don't need one. I mean, excuse me, you don't need them all. You need maybe 1, maybe 2, but definitely don't need them all. As much as I hate to say it, and it really pains me, these are a total miss for me, which I'm really sad about because I was really, of all the things in the collection, I think I was the most excited about these, and they're not good at all. They're really bad. Really bad. So first off, let me start off with this one. I thought it would be cool to use this one, like, even though it's sheer iridescent, and I know I don't really have any room here to swatch anything. It's a sheer iridescent, you know, so, and I don't know how well you can see that on my skin. You can see it kind of in person, but it's very sheer, it's very iridescent. But the something about the formulation on this, you know, a common technique is, you know, as you saw, I like to take product, especially cream products, put them on the back of my hand. That usually allows the product to warm up and soften up, makes it more malleable, so I'm more easily able to manipulate it to do whatever I want. And with this, that just was not the case. I don't know how well you can see that, but they're just chunks. It just would not, it was almost like, not quite Play-Doh, but it just would not get malleable. It wouldn't get soft enough. It wouldn't melt, basically. So that even when I was like trying to pick this up with my brush, it was like sticking to itself. It wasn't, you know, distributing. It wasn't thinning out. And when I was trying to apply it to my lid, it was, like I said, it was sticking to itself. It wasn't moving around. Now, in all due respect, you know, in all fairness, I did not prime my lid. So the natural oil on my lids, maybe that's what was causing the problem. Maybe just the natural oil on my lids was mixing with the product, and that's what was making it ball up and stick to itself and not, you know, blend out. But, you know, for a product that's marketed as a multiple use product, I just didn't find it delivered. Even when I tried, okay, I was like, okay, maybe it just needs that skin to skin contact, you know, and I tried applying it directly. Here, I'll even do it now. Try applying it directly, you know, as a highlighter on my chin. It's, I don't know. I guess it's just too subtle. You know, it's just not really doing what I want. You can see a little bit of the Cupid's bow. I mean, it kind of worked there when I blended it on. And applying it on my nose, you can definitely see it, but it's very subtle. I'm just not thrilled with this, especially with a $39 price point. I just had higher expectations. I will be sending this back. I'm sad to say. I'm not happy with that at all. We'll be sending that back. And then same with this one. I'm also not happy about this one. Let me go ahead and swatch this one on my skin for you so you can see that. Because as you can see, it's not too bad. I mean, here it kind of looks patchy and uneven, but in person it actually looks decent. Actually looks okay, sorry. It's just at a weird angle. But again, when I scraped off the product, same story. Wouldn't warm up on my hand. It won't become malleable. It sticks to itself. It stayed chunky. When I was applying it to my lips, it wouldn't blend out. It kept balling up, and just not impressed at all. So everything else in the collection I like, except for both of the multiples are total misses for me. I'm sending them back. I rarely ever return makeup, but at $40 a piece, even with my pro discount, I did get a pro discount on these, full disclosure, sending them back. So totally disappointed. So I hope I saved you guys some money and some time. I hope I give you guys some ideas. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know there was a lot going on, a lot of stuff in this video. And let me know if you have any questions or comments. Go ahead and leave them down below. I love it when you guys interact with me. If you don't already do so, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr. You know, check out all my makeup pics, makeup news, all that fun stuff, swatches, face of the day, whatever, you know, I post that day. Sometimes I post some funny stuff. Every once in a while, my dog makes an appearance. She's so cute. Every time I film a video, she just lays down and takes a nap. She's like, oh, mommy's doing that thing again where she just talks to nobody. I'm just going to take a nap. If you're not a subscriber, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.